Humanity has always craved knowledge. It is the driving force behind our greatest achievements. We yearn to understand the universe and our place in it. For millennia, learning has been a slow, arduous process. But what if we could bypass this laborious process? What if we could download knowledge directly into our brains? Imagine a world where learning is instant, where the vast repository of human knowledge is but a thought away. This is the promise of Eskimos, a revolutionary technology poised to redefine the very essence of what it means to learn. Eskimos, derived from the Inuit word for wisdom, represents a paradigm shift in knowledge acquisition. By interfacing directly with the brain's neural networks, Eskimos can imprint information with unprecedented speed and accuracy. Imagine mastering a new language in an hour or becoming a surgeon overnight. Education, healthcare, scientific research all stand on the brink of a revolution. Yet, as with any transformative technology, Eskimos is not without its challenges and ethical dilemmas. Dr. Helena Radcliffe, a neuroscientist at the forefront of the Eskimos project, adjusted her spectacles and gazed intently at the intricate web of wires and microchips before her. Years of relentless dedication had culminated in this moment, the cusp of a groundbreaking achievement. The air thrummed with anticipation as her team, a cadre of brilliant minds, made the final adjustments to the Eskimos prototype. Helena had devoted her life to unraveling the mysteries of the human brain. Her fascination began in childhood, listening to her grandfather, a renowned linguist, recount tales of ancient languages and the power of words. She marveled at the brain's capacity to store and process vast amounts of information. As she delved deeper into her studies, she became captivated by the idea of enhancing human intellect. The Eskimos project was the perfect confluence of her passion and expertise. It promised to unlock the full potential of the human mind. Helena envisioned a world where education was no longer a privilege, but a birthright. Her resolve was unwavering, fueled by the belief that Eskimos held the key to a brighter future. Yet, as she prepared for the first human trial, a flicker of doubt crossed her mind. The Eskimos device resembled a sleek, silver skullcap, its surface studded with hundreds of tiny electrodes. Each electrode was meticulously calibrated to interact with specific neural pathways responsible for memory, language, and cognitive function. The device worked by translating digital information into patterns of electrical impulses that stimulated the neurons, effectively bypassing the need for traditional learning methods. Years of research had gone into mapping the intricate neural networks of the brain. Helena and her team had conducted countless simulations, refining the Eskimos' algorithms to ensure accuracy and safety. They had started with simple concepts, basic mathematical formulas and vocabulary lists, gradually progressing to more complex subjects. The initial trials on animal subjects had yielded promising results. Mice implanted with the Eskimos device learned to navigate mazes and solve puzzles with remarkable speed. Primates demonstrated an even more profound capacity for accelerated learning. The scientific community buzzed with excitement, hailing it as the greatest breakthrough since the invention of the printing press. The sterile white walls of the laboratory seemed to close in on Mark Jenkins as Dr. Helena Radcliffe made the final adjustments to the Eskimos device nestled upon his head. He was an engineer by profession, a man of logic and reason, yet a tremor of apprehension ran through him. He was about to embark on a journey into the uncharted territories of his own mind. Mark had volunteered for the first human trial of Eskimos without hesitation. He had always been an avid learner, his curiosity insatiable. The prospect of absorbing knowledge instantaneously filled him with a sense of awe and anticipation. He had undergone months of rigorous physical and psychological evaluations. They had explained the procedure in detail, emphasizing both the potential benefits and the inherent risks. As Helena initiated the Eskimos sequence, Mark closed his eyes, bracing himself for the unknown. A gentle hum filled the room, accompanied by a faint tingling sensation that spread from the base of his skull, enveloping his entire being. The world exploded in a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds. Information flooded Mark's consciousness, a torrent of equations, diagrams, and historical narratives. He felt himself swept away, adrift in a sea of data. The sheer volume of knowledge was overwhelming, like trying to drink from a fire hose. He experienced the history of civilization unfolding before his eyes. witnessed the birth of stars and the intricate dance of subatomic particles. He felt the joy of artistic creation, the thrill of scientific discovery, the pain of human suffering. It was a symphony of experiences, both exhilarating and terrifying. Helena and her team monitored his vital signs closely, their faces etched with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The Eskimos was functioning flawlessly, transmitting information at an unprecedented rate. But how would Mark's brain cope with this sudden influx of knowledge? The initial euphoria of instant knowledge gave way to a profound sense of disorientation. Mark emerged from the Eskimos' trial physically unharmed but mentally transformed. The world seemed both familiar and alien, his senses heightened, his perception altered. He felt a constant hum beneath his thoughts, a residual echo of the Eskimos' electrical impulses. He retreated into himself, grappling with the overwhelming influx of information. His sleep was plagued by vivid, fragmented dreams, his waking hours a blur of disconnected thoughts and memories. He struggled to reconcile the man he had been with the man he was becoming. Helena, ever the vigilant observer, noticed the change in Mark. His initial exuberance had given way to a quiet introspection, his gaze distant and troubled. She realized that the Eskimos, for all its promise, came at a cost. Mark's experience was not unique. As more volunteers underwent the Eskimos' procedure, similar patterns emerged. Some individuals adapted seamlessly, their minds readily integrating the newly acquired knowledge. Others, however, experienced a range of adverse reactions, from mild anxiety and insomnia to severe cognitive dissonance and even hallucinations. The human brain, it became clear, was not a passive recipient of information. It possessed an inherent plasticity, a remarkable ability to adapt and rewire itself in response to new experiences. But this plasticity had its limits. The sudden influx of vast amounts of information could overwhelm the brain's delicate circuitry, leading to a kind of cognitive overload. Helena realized that the Eskimos, for all its sophistication, was still a crude instrument. It could impart knowledge, but it could not replicate the nuanced process of learning through experience, reflection, and social interaction. Faced with mounting evidence of the Eskimos' limitations, Helena and her team shifted their focus from mere knowledge acquisition to the development of cognitive support systems. They recognized that the human brain needed time to adapt to the accelerated learning process, to integrate new information into existing neural networks. They developed a series of mental exercises and meditation techniques designed to help Eskimos recipients process and assimilate their newfound knowledge. These techniques, rooted in ancient wisdom traditions and cutting-edge neuroscience, emphasized mindfulness, emotional regulation, and the cultivation of a sense of inner balance. The team also began exploring the use of virtual reality environments as a means of providing Eskimos recipients with simulated experiences that could help them contextualize their acquired knowledge. These efforts proved successful in mitigating some of the negative side effects of Eskimos. As recipients learned to manage the influx of information, their cognitive function improved and the psychological distress subsided. The development of Eskimos marked a profound turning point in human history. It held the potential to revolutionize education, healthcare, and countless other fields. Yet, it also posed significant ethical and societal challenges. How would we ensure equitable access to this transformative technology? What safeguards would we put in place to prevent its misuse? In the right hands, it could empower individuals, accelerate scientific progress, and foster greater understanding between cultures. In the wrong hands, it could exacerbate existing inequalities, create new forms of social control, or even be used as a weapon. The future of Eskimos, and indeed the future of humanity, would depend on the choices we made today. It was imperative that we proceed with caution, guided by wisdom, compassion, and a deep respect for the sanctity of the human mind. Imagine a world where education is no longer a privilege, but a birthright. A world where the barriers to knowledge are shattered, and the collective wisdom of humanity is accessible to all. This is the promise of Eskimos, a promise fraught with both peril and extraordinary opportunity. As we stand on the cusp of this new era, we must proceed with both caution and a sense of wonder. The journey into the depths of the human mind is a journey into the unknown. Let us create a future where technology serves humanity, where knowledge empowers, and where the human spirit, in all its complexity and resilience, continues to soar.